In 5, 4, 3, 2.
Good night, everyone, and get ready because it's time for the late chip at the video store.
It's Saturday morning. It is every time I see like, good night, everyone. I'm like, no, I'm waking up. Mike, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good. How about you?
Good. We've already got people in the chat, so give us hi, hello, hey. We'd love to say how are you going today, and we've got a great topic tonight. And it's one of those ones that's really like a bit showing of like your personality.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. It's almost like a BuzzFeed topic, it feels like.
Yeah, a little bit.
Oh, we got Garth in the chat. Morning or evening, Garth. Nice to see you. Mike, what have we got this evening?
We have. Which fantasy world would you like to live in?
Would you like to go first? Would you like me to kick it off?
I'll go first this time. Fuck it.
Go for it.
Okay, so there was a very easy choice for me to make here, but I decided not to make that choice. I decided to make a choice that is kind of still easier because it's right behind me anyways. I'm choosing Neverland from Hook. Fucking A, I love me some Captain Hook. I love me some Peter Pan. But I want to get to hang out with the fucking Lost Boys, get to hang out with Rufio before, he gets stabbed to death. Would be fucking
I was going to
awesome.
say, there is a huge downside to living in this world, and it's that you have to watch Rufio get murdered.
Yes, but see, I show up before Rufio gets murdered. I get to hang out with him all those years before he gets murdered. It's good times. And then I leave the moment he gets murdered because what's the fun of it after that? There's no fun after that because the pirates are gone and shit, There's no fun. You got to have the fun in there. You get to fight pirates and shit. Use like the ketchup and the fucking sauce to do to blind their eyes. It's fun times right there.
You get the ice cream for dinner or whatever.
Oh yeah, you get all the fucking cool ass food for that.
Yeah, see, but if you're there, how do you know the exact moment Rufio is? Like, you're gonna show up for that battle and be all pumped and think Rufio's gonna win, and you'll be like, oh, bangarang, and you'll be excited, and then you just have to watch him get stabbed. Like, Joseph's nailed it. Hang on.
That is true. I know it was coming, so I jump in there same as that.
It'd be like the butterfly effect, where like that one small change of you showing up changes the course of Hook forever. But on that instance, maybe like Peter never steps up, never saves his kids. Like, what is the ongoing effect of Rufio living? What have you done, Mike?
That is very true. I fucked up Neverland. But fuck it, I get to enjoy it while it lasts. Get to hang out in like fucking trees and shit. Skateboard.
What are your thoughts on Jake's Neverland from the 03 Peter Pan is better?
I like Peter Pan 2003, but it had nothing on Hook. Hook is the ultimate one with that fucking beautiful set, fucking pirate ship. Nothing beats that shit.
But what about Pan and you get to listen to Hugh Jackman sing Nirvana?
Fuck that.
Put the link on. Sorry, let's go. We got distracted.
I'll be putting the link in right now. No.
Mike, you also watched the Tinkerbell movie with me, so there's also Pixie Hollow, which is also a really good place to live in because, like, it's like almost like Divergent, where everyone like gets chosen their talent. That is your crew. That is who you live with. I like that. I like having a path. I like having a destiny. They shot in Australia.
Yeah, they shot in Australia. That means I can just go to Australia and I'll be there.
But I think Neverland / Pixie Hollow. Not a bad choice. We have people already. I don't even get to say my answer. Let's bring people in. We are pumped.
We got Joseph.
How you doing today, Joseph?
Hey. It's just another Friday.
Fucking A.
Thanks for joining us. Which world do you want to live in?
So, this was a challenge actually on on the video store challenge from last year on Letterboxd, and I'm gonna go with the one that I ended up watching or picking for that challenge. Watching a movie watch a movie in which you would want to be set in. There's a downside to this, of course, like doing any of these worlds that you want to live in. But there are some things that I definitely would want to change in my life. It's About Time, the 2013 movie in which the guys can travel through time and do different things, maybe change the course of their lives as long as they don't change their children. Let's just say that there are things that I did when I was younger that I wish I did differently, or chances that I wish I could have taken but didn't, that I feel like could help. That I like the concept of travel in this movie.
Absolutely.
And it feels like well, I'm having trouble articulating, I'm sorry. But in the process of the movie, we see Donald Gleason's character learn his life lessons and then progress through his life. And then eventually he, I feel like that I would want to try to learn from those mistakes that I made or missed opportunities that I missed out on, and then try to fix them. Now, of course, this does mean that it would not be fair to play trivia games, but that's totally okay because there are some really big things in my life that I wish I did differently. So
I think
I'd
you're
like
tapping into
to.
something very human and very psychological there. Of like, we know hindsight is 2020. That is a saying for a reason. Like, things that we know now that we wish we could have done differently. There's also youth is wasted on the young. Like, there are so many adages for this sort of concept that, you know, it would be nice to be able to go back and correct. Or I think the phrase you said that really speaks to me is like chances that we wish we had have taken. Like, I think that's very I feel like everyone really does have that situation, but then at the same time, we're here for a reason. Like, you get to this point in your life because of that. So, but yeah, I think this is a really interesting choice. Mike, what do you think about being able to use like time travel like this?
Oh yeah, I think doing it like About Time, living to where you're able to time travel like that would be amazing. We had brought up on multiplex and a different type of world thing of Back to the Future, where you just shank Doc Brown, you steal his DeLorean, and then you go travel. It'd be great. I think it'd be fun times to actually go time travel and change the things that you may have either messed up on or may have not gone your way. I think that's a good way to change things, and also see that maybe some things don't need to be changed as well at the same time.
And to finish up that thing on the trivia, my hope, if this world were real, is that kind of like Tim's experience with Margot Robbie's character, maybe when trying to fix things that happen in trivia games, it backfires on you. So maybe, hopefully, that's the one thing that I'm hopeful of, that would at least still make it legal to time travel. So that I don't want to take away from people who've defeated me in games, but yeah, it would be useful. But also I want to be fair for everyone, you know.
Absolutely. Joseph, thank you so much for coming on and giving us your answer this evening. Have a good rest of your Friday night.
Thank you, Joseph.
Thank you.
Starting off with time travel.
Yes.
That's interesting, and it is something very, like, I feel everyone wishes they would have like been able to have that experience, sort of thing. I think time travel is something very appealing to human beings.
Yeah.
But as we pointed out, it could get a little bit sticky, so it's interesting. And I think that's the issue with a lot of these fantasy worlds. It's like there's these huge benefits, and then it's like a little fine print almost at the bottom of it all. Mike, bring someone on, please.
I'm hearing that we may be on location.
Hold on.
We got
guys,
paid.
hold on. Yo, what's up?
Where are we this evening?
Okay, yes, I know what you're thinking. Why am I outside? Well, it is my aunt's 60th birthday.
16.
And so instead of me answering first, she is going to be giving her answer. So I'm going to be putting her online.
Please.
Oh,
Yes.
This is my Aunt Marika and
She's
Aunt Marika.
60 years old.
birthday girl.
This is
Hi.
Nice.
Say hi to them.
Hi guys. What's the question? I didn't know there was going to be a question. Oh my god.
Which
I can't help,
fantasy
though.
world would you like to live in, Aunt America?
One more time.
Which fantasy world would you like to live in?
Ooh.
So like Harry Potter or Game of Thrones or anything.
I'm thinking, where's the New Zealand one? No,
Lord of the Rings?
Lord of the Rings. I've been up
Good
there.
choice.
Oh, good choice. Oh, man, that was pressure. Phew. I know. Yeah. Okay. All right. I'm off the hook. Nice to meet you guys.
I really you too.
It's a nice rinse. All right, so I'm going to go inside before I give my answer. So that way I don't disturb the party.
That's
Go
a great,
online,
I'll
video
expand on
store.
that. The Shire is a great choice, especially like I know you say like Lord of the Rings is bold, but I'm thinking like the Shire specifically. That would be
yeah.
dope to live in. Like that you just like have big birthday parties and you just go down to the tavern and like it's great. Payson, what is your answer?
No, so I was thinking about my answer, and just to be clear, we can pick things that aren't necessarily like from movies, right?
Yeah,
Like we can
TV
go.
shows, video games,
Yeah,
whatever you
yeah,
want.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the issue with a lot of fantasy and sci-fi worlds for me is that you would be in constant danger. So I'm trying to think, what is the perfect world where there's not really a ton of danger? And let me tell you, I want to be the very best that
Yes.
no one ever was. The
Yes.
world of Pokemon is the correct choice as far as I'm concerned.
I 1000% agree. This would be my choice, but I wasn't going to bring it up in case someone brought it up. Like, someone is going to come up and say that they want to be a Pokemon master just like me. Go. Why?
Okay, so not only is the concept of just going out and just like finding different Pokemon and like capturing them, not only is that amazing. One, if you've seen the anime, Ash Ketchum is able to survive volts from Pikachu, so you know you can survive these attacks, so you're technically not in danger. Most of the crime syndicates are just trying to use Pokemon to do this, so like, that's really the major thing. The Pokemon faint, you have free healthcare for those Pokemon, so you never have to worry about like, going in debt, except for the fact that you got to pay like $200 for lemonade. So you got to think about that. And then, of course, just like going through each region and like getting the gym badges. Like everyone has their own favorite region. Mine was always like Unova. Gen 5 is probably my favorite Pokemon generation.
Which one
but
do you
yeah,
want specifically? Yep.
yeah, I think Pokemon is my pick.
That is the most American statement I've ever heard, where like all you want is free healthcare and lemonade costs too much. I 1000% with this. Like, I remember being 10 years old and like all this kicking off, and I'd be like, yeah, that's plausible. I can go out into the world and be self-sufficient and survive. Ash Ketchum can do it. All he needs is a bike and a canopy, and he's all right. Like, I agree. There's like, you talked about like the crime syndicates. It's like, but realistically, if it's you as you are in that world, like I'm not coming across Team Rocket. They just seem to have it out for Ash and stuff. Like I'm not the main protagonist of this world. I'm just going out and making my own team and doing my own thing, and it looks amazing. And you get that music wherever you go, and it's gonna be great traveling music as I go along. Oh, Mike, what do you think about this one?
Yeah, I think it's definitely a fun choice. And yeah, it is correct that for the most part, you ain't going to get hurt. And if you do, at least you're not going to die from it. But yeah, you are going to be charged a shitload of money to have some lemonade, which kind of sucks.
The only downside is that there's the great possibility that you might be the youngster Joey of the universe, and that would suck. Payson, thank you for coming on, and thank you for your aunt coming on. Say happy birthday.
Of course,
enjoy
thank
the
you, Mike
party.
and Kelly. This has been a lot of fun.
Payson just wants the VIP clip like every week. I feel like it's his mission, and it's great. How do you know? That's amazing. But Pokemon, absolutely. Mike, can you bring on someone who else might have been saying Pokemon and that might be disappointed that they didn't get to say that?
Yes. We got Jake.
We got Jake.
Angry
Were you
boy.
going to say Pokemon? Did Payson one up you again, love?
Yeah, he did. Yeah. As you can see, I'm very disappointed. I would have picked Pokemon, but here I am now having to find another answer to give in a minute to try and figure out. So
Well,
it's tough.
I
You
would
put me on
love
the
if you
spot.
come on and
Thank
say
you,
Pokemon.
guys. The
I
pressure
know.
really is needed.
But I want to hear why you want to pick Pokemon. I would love a double Pokemon
Okay.
answer. Why
So
you pick
I love Pokemon. I love Gen 4. I've always been a fan of Diamond and Pearl and Platinum. But that is just like such a cool idea. I want to, to be in the world of Pokemon would be great because I would get to have my lovely Espeon as the Pikachu to my Ash Ketchum. That's what I
Absolutely.
want. That's
It
the
would
world,
never
that's
be in the
life.
Pokeball. It would always be walking behind you.
Yes,
Like.
like this majestic being does not deserve to be in a Pokeball. It deserves to be side by side with me. That's what it deserves. I'm very disappointed that I didn't get to pick Pokemon, but I love Pokemon. Also, you get the gyms and the Elite Four and the Champion. That stuff is awesome. And since we come from a trivia community where we have champions and battles and stuff, the idea of becoming the champion of a region sounds pretty legit. Sounds awesome. I really like that. That's my
You've got like a
Pokemon.
life goal, a path. So we know in the world of Pokemon, everyone has like maybe different styles and things like that. So you would go for the championship. You wouldn't be like a Pokemon breeder or like
wouldn't be a breeder or the
leader.
contest, like all that sort of stuff. No, I've always been just like, I'm here to just destroy. I'm here to fuck shit up, I'm here just to become a champ.
It took Ash 20 years to do it. What do you think you can do?
He was like a 10-year-old. He was a 10-year-old for 25 years or so. Like, listen, you're looking at, I understand that when you reach 10 years old, you become a Pokemon trainer and you get to pick your starter. And like, I would obviously pick Chimchar. And I'm saying this because of my most recent playthrough of Pokemon Brilliant Diamond. I've got a I've got an Infernape, I've got an Espeon, I've got an Altaria, who's the big bird with the cloud, my favorite flying Pokemon. I would get a Garchomp because I think Dragon Pokemon are the best. I like Garchomp a lot. I'm trying to think. I'd get an Alakazam maybe if I didn't have Espeon because that's a psychic Pokemon. That's like one of the best.
I was going to ask, are you going to be like in this real world? Like, because we know, like, when we play the games, you get one of everything. Like, you cover as many types as you can, so you can match up.
Absolutely, gotta catch them all.
I've always loved Misty, like, as just a specific water trainer. Would you do something similar to that, or would you change up your teams, or would you be like, this is set, this is who I'm traveling with?
I'm more with the champion sort of mindset of I want to make the best team with the best different types to correlate with what's going to strengthen my team and wouldn't have any weaknesses. So like with my most recent, and I usually do this with every time I play a new Pokemon game or a new playthrough, where it's just like, okay, I need a psychic because that's one of my two favorite types of dragon. I always go Espeon. If I can't, then it's usually Alakazam or whatever like is the strongest of that region. I would get a dragon, obviously, like Garchomp, Dragonite. Altaria is a dragon, but it's also a flying, and I usually sort of like cheat by getting two dragon types. A fighting type is also, I would say, needed. Like I love Lucario. That's a Pokemon that I always try and get. Lucario is like the coolest, and that's a Pokemon I used to main in Smash Bros. Brawl back in the day. Great Pokemon. And I would also get like I always like the fossil Pokemon. So, like Aerodactyl and I'm blanking on other ones, but the one I usually like to go for is either Cranidos, which would turn into Rampardos, which is just like a giant, like it's like the head one. It's one with the steel head that like smashes into shit. That's the one I really like. But that's usually the one I usually go for. Went with that one of my most recent favorite, Brilliant Diamond. But just really good fucking Pokemon that just like you want to make like a championship material team, and that's usually what I always go for. But just it's the world, and it's just like friends and pets, and like I'm not really like this is the last thing I'll say. I'm not really like a pet person. I've got so much shit. It's just like I'm already mad at Pacey because he picked Pokemon, so I've got to get it all out. What I like is that you get to you have your pets, like they are your friends, and that's a situation that's really cool in that world where you just get to like it's like the exact opposite of how I feel. Like I don't really like pets and I don't really like outdoors, but in the world of Pokemon, I get to be outdoors and I get to be with my pets. I get to be with, that sort of stuff and enjoy the world of being with your pets. I think that's really cool. So, yeah, screw you, Payson. But Pokemon is fun.
No, but I thought the same. It's like, I am not an adventurer. I'm not a journey person, but I'm like, in Pokemon, why not? Like, why couldn't I? Mark sends you money. Now, I do have a question,
I get to travel with my magical creatures. It's awesome.
and fly and surf and all that stuff. I did have a question though, because you said about making the ultimate championship team, and now this is where maybe the downside of the world is. If you are that type of trainer, what if you catch something that doesn't have the nature or the optimum stats? Are you just gonna leave it there?
So you've just put me in a real tough decision now. I have to. So usually, okay. So if I'm trying to get something like, I don't know, an Abra or like something that's easy, I generally just try to like find whatever is the best for that Pokemon with that type. But if I'm getting something that's a lot harder, like a Gabite or a Gibble, like the later down the track where it's harder to get, and you only have like a 10% catch rate, or stuff like that where it gets harder, then I generally try to avoid that sort of trying to get the nature perfect. It depends on like how early in the game it is, but like generally it's something like it's like 50-50 where I'm like, it depends on which Pokemon and how much time or how much I really care about getting all of them to be perfect. Also with IV as well, like you want to make sure you have good ones, but generally you just I try to work with what I'm given, but sometimes I try to get the best one that I can. So oh,
Yeah.
Mike just froze.
Mike's
All right,
frozen,
what?
so that's why here we
Max
go.
Shade's
Would you like to
taking over.
co-host for a bit?
We could do it until he comes back. Yeah, I'm good with that. Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
I don't start work for another hour.
Yeah, okay. I'm going to produce now. Sorry, I'm on the spot. But Jake, I'm going to bring in our next guest. He's been with us from the beginning. It is amazing to see him back.
He's got a background. I can see I'm trying to what it
We've got a background. We've got Garth. How you doing, Garth?
All right. Can you see my background? Because all I see is black. So
I can see the background.
Okay, cool. So anyways, a little background on mine. Growing up as a kid, I'd read the Flash Gordon comic strips and watch the old black and white serials. And George Lucas was a fan too, and he wanted to make a Flash Gordon movie, but all the studios and the people with the rights turned him down. So he wanted to make Star Wars. Now, of course, Star Wars is wicked popular. The Flash Gordon people go, oh, okay, they like the space stuff. They made the Flash Gordon movie in 1980, and I was hooked. I loved Brian Blessed as Prince Voltan, leader of the Hawkmen, and they get to fly around. They got wings. So my place is Sky City, where the Hawkmen live, because it's this floating city with jets and stuff. And if you don't have wings, you got sky cycles like Flash rode around on. But I figure I could get some wings and fly around with the Hawkmen.
Absolutely. Flash Gordon is just one of those universes I'm just not versed in. I really need to see the movies and like orient myself, because as I said like a few times, like I'm trying to do the Rocky Horror thing where I do all the classic sci-fi stuff that's mentioned in science fiction double feature. But flying would be so cool. I love that. That's another thing that like time travel or things like that you really tapped into, that us as humans would just love to be able to do, is just take to the skies and soar. This would be amazing. And now, Brian, bless shout out. Appreciate that. Jake, what are your thoughts?
Question. When you pick a fantasy world, generally you have like an idea of which character or what position you are in the sort of the story. Where do you sort of view yourself in the world of Flash Gordon?
Well, I'd love to be Prince Voltan, but he's such a great character as he is with Brian Blessed. So I'd be like one of his lieutenants, one of his sidekicks, his right hand man. That's who I'd be.
Nice.
Jake, are you versed in the Flash Gordon universe? Like, do you have something you'd like to be in?
Embarrassingly not, no. I know it's a movie that a lot of people like, for 80s kids love Flash Gordon. Just before my time on that. It's one movie that I'll hopefully eventually get to, especially with like the amount of trivia details, and just also it's a movie like, also I like Queen. I like the soundtrack.
Exactly.
The Queen song gets me pumped.
Flash Gordon and Highlander both have the awesome Queen soundtracks. They're, that really make the movie.
Princes of the Universe.
And Max von Sydow is Ming the Merciless. He's a well-known actor, great roles all around. So watch it just for him.
Yeah, and I've seen the eyebrows, so I'm already jealous of those. They look amazing. But this background is getting me really pumped, Garth. Like, that looks just some high-class fantasy there. So awesome choice.
Thanks.
Thanks for joining us, Garth.
All right. Good night.
See you, Garth.
Jake, thank you for stepping up to the plate when Mike left me hanging here. So genuinely.
My pleasure. Happy to help out when I can. You know, I'm still making up for the 2 weeks that I didn't show up, and I keep getting shit about it. But I've redeemed myself.
Shit cleared. Cleaning of the slate. The slate's
Yes,
cleared.
it's
We
been
buried the
revoked.
hatchet. All that. Yes. But
All right, I'll see you guys later. Peace.
Mike, how dare you?
Oh, my computer just crashed completely. I couldn't press anything anymore.
You were just like this. And I'm like, okay, he's listening really intently. And I'm just chatting and having a really good time. I'm like, oh no, shit, you're frozen.
Yeah, I was trying to press on the comments, wouldn't let me press on anything, wouldn't let me close anything. I'm like, what the hell?
But that's how self-centered I feel right now. Where it's like, I'm just going to say what I want to say. Mike, we've had some great answers already. I haven't even had to give my answers yet. Can you throw that link in the chat for anyone that hasn't been on yet? Please jump on. As I said at the top, like, I find it so interesting that we get to see a little bit of people's like real personalities and what they sort of gravitate towards. I find that really fascinating. Pokemon was absolutely going to be my true answer, so I'm glad we got to talk a lot about that. The other one, I've got two. No, well, technically 4. But one's already brought up. I'm sorry. This is just one I find really interesting. So Pokemon would have been one. The second one, surprising, no one. Kingdom Hearts. So that I get to go to every single Disney World that is connected. I get to be probably one of like the princesses, I would hope so, princesses of heart, have my own world, travel between the worlds, meet the Final Fantasy characters as well. Not only that, but there are great original characters that I like from the series. Alan's bringing it up. Wonderland, I didn't even actually think, but I guess if I get Kingdom Hearts, I get Wonderland too. But to be actually in Wonderland, the downfall with going into these fantasy lands, and it's the reason why I'm not going to pick Labyrinth, is because I already very much, Joseph brought up the video store challenge from last year that this was one of the questions, but this year was like pick a movie in a fantasy world, and I picked Labyrinth. We all know that I would want to be the Goblin Queen. I think Sarah's an idiot for leaving. So like all it would be is me and the Masquerade Ball with David Bowie for eternity. I'm fine with that. And Wonderland would be the same thing. There is just no way in hell I would ever leave that tea party. Like, that tea party is amazing to me. You just keep moving down. There's cake. There's teacups that fill up. Like, you can cut them in half and they still fill up. Like, it is if I love tea so much, like, that is my happy place right there. So, yes, no to that, because that's that downside bit. Kingdom Hearts, as I said, would be amazing. The only problem is you've got, like, all people coming up about the darkness, like, all the time. I can feel like that would get really old quick. The darkness. Like, you just run into a Xehanort copy, like, wherever you go. That would be frustrating. One that I think that would be really great is same with the video game thing, and I've always thought this is just the coolest concept. Super Mario 64.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
In Super Mario 64, you get the Mushroom Kingdom. Peach is making birthday cake. Great. Then for some unknown reason, you just get to jump into any painting and go live in that land. And I think that is such a cool idea. So imagine, you talked about Hook before, but you would just like run head first into any of those paintings, into any of your posters behind you and go live in that world.
That's the ultimate answer is the Oasis because of that. From Ready Player One.
Oh, it's so lame, but it's so true.
That's the original answer that I had, is because it's the same concept of Super Mario 64 is you can go anywhere you fucking want to, in any land you want to. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, but then no. Here's the issue with that. You are still you, and you're still living in your shitty reality. And when you take off the glasses, then you're in some fucking shitty stacked building. Like you're in like, oh no.
That is true. Yeah, you have to live.
That is the downside of that. Yes,
Yeah,
when you don't want to be in the Oasis, then you're still like, yeah, in shitty circumstances. And that juxtaposition would suck. That would suck so hard to take those glasses off and be like, this is reality again. The other one I had, and it's really funny because, like, it's obviously true how people lived, but it's history, so it feels fake. We've been watching a lot of Jane Austen adaptations, like Pride and Prejudice and that kind of stuff. Yeah. So that is a fantasy land to me in the sense of, like, what Payson was saying, where, like, if you are as you are in Pokemon, like, you don't want any danger. I would not want to be as I am in a Jane Austen world. Like, I want to be like, I want to have money. I want to have money and live in a Jane Austen world where my only problems are whose house are we going to eat at? What ribbon should I put in my hair that day? Like, that's like a good fantasy fake world to live in. If you're in the chat and you haven't jumped on, jump on quickly or throw us some answers out. Otherwise, we're probably going to be closing the video store out. We also talked about the video store challenge, and we haven't talked about it in a few previous weeks. Do you know why, Mike? We have not been talking about it for the last previous weeks. For about a month now.
You have mentioned to me, so I'm going to let you say it to everyone.
It was a Tuesday night, probably three or so weeks ago. I remember it being a Tuesday night because I came home from work. It would have been Tuesday the 11th. It would have been Tuesday the 11th that I finished my video store challenge. I jumped on at 10 at night. I just finished Heaven Can Wait, my 1943 movie. And I said, Mike, fucking finished. Like, there's no more video store challenge for me. I am done. So we haven't been bringing it up, but I'm still curious how everyone else is going. Mike, how's your challenge going?
I just have 2 left. I have Serial Mom and I have my favorite movie to watch, and that is it. I will be done.
Alan and I watched Serial Mom, had never seen it before, and we're still talking about it a few weeks later. We're like, even last night,
as you should.
As you should be. We're like, that wasn't a great movie, but it was a great time. Like, we really, what came up? What were we watching? Alan. Oh, we were watching The Long Halloween, and it was holidays, and we brought up Labor Day, and we brought up that if you were wearing white after Labor Day, Serial Mom would have been the holiday killer. But thank you for joining us this evening, everyone that jumped in the chats. Mike, by our shit. Anything else we need to say? Why we love horror, why we have love horror is doing amazingly well. Like, we're enjoying that every week. That is a really fun time.
Oh yeah, if you haven't checked it out this week, we did Children of the Corn 2023. We did Beware Children at Play, which has the opposite of what Children of the Corn is. Isn't it kids fucking up adults? It's adults fucking up children. So if you want fun times, go watch that movie, because that has the greatest last 10 minutes of any movie in that concept. And then we talk Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, because fuck it, why not?
Why? Because why? Thanks for coming on, guys. It's so lovely to have you done. Oh, we'll do. And we'll see everyone next week. Take us out, Mike.
Bye, everybody.
And we're clear.